She was just bored while stuck in the elevator. So she ended up having an intimate encounter with a stranger inside. Little did she know that after a night of passion, she would learn a terrifying truth from him. This guy wasn't an office worker in the building at all. He was just a security guard on duty at the entrance. His phone was full of secret recordings of Jennifer. Jack had watched her come and go to work every day, and had long harbored lustful thoughts toward Jennifer. To win the heart of his goddess, Jack deliberately shut down the elevator that Friday night, intentionally creating a situation where they'd be trapped, all to create an opportunity to get close to her. Upon hearing this, Jennifer instantly broke down emotionally, and vowed to call the police and have him jailed once they were free. In the ensuing argument, the two began to struggle. In the chaos, Jennifer kicked the key in half. Now there was absolutely no way for them to leave. They were completely trapped inside the sealed metal box. Late at night on the day before Valentine's Day, inside an office building in downtown New York City, most employees had already gone home. Only Jennifer was working late. She was holding a Valentine's Day gift for her ex-boyfriend, and was full of hope that they could mend their broken relationship. But just as she stepped into the elevator, Jack, dressed in a dark suit, appeared. He struck up a conversation with Jennifer, saying he'd also just finished working late. A few brief words instantly brought them closer. The elevator descended smoothly, but when it reached the middle of the building, it jerked to a sudden halt without warning. The lights dimmed, and all the floor buttons stopped working. Since tomorrow was Saturday, all the other employees had already gone home. They were the only two people left in the entire building. Jennifer's first reaction was panic. She tried everything, calling for help through the security camera, frantically pounding on the steel door, and even straddling Jack's neck in a desperate search for an exit. But the ceiling proved to be unusually sturdy, and none of her attempts worked. As the long hours dragged on, they began to open up to each other. As their conversation deepened, they naturally had a few drinks, and their topics grew more intimate, from work to relationships, and from relationships to matters between men and women. The confined space, dim lighting, and the influence of alcohol caused the suggestive atmosphere to intensify rapidly. Eventually, they crossed the line, which led to the scene at the beginning of the video. After this experience, Jack thought he'd won her heart, but Jennifer saw it merely as an emotional release. She was still thinking about her ex-boyfriend and told Jack that once they left this place, they'd go back to being strangers. As for last night, they should just treat it as a dream. Jennifer's offhand remark that it was just for fun directly ignited the fuse for the tragedy that followed. Seeing his dream girl act so heartlessly, Jack decided to stop pretending. He admitted he wasn't some corporate employee at all, but a security guard at the office building. He had actually harbored feelings for Jennifer for a long time, but, afraid of rejection due to their vast social disparity, he had hesitated to confess his feelings. As for their current predicament, being trapped, it was an opportunity Jack had deliberately created. Upon learning the truth, Jennifer completely broke down. She declared she would definitely call the police once they got out. Hearing this, Jack flew into a rage and began struggling with her. Once they calmed down, they both knew deep down that their only hope of survival lay in working together. After reaching an agreement, Jack quickly scrambled up the wall. He remembered there was a maintenance hatch at the top. If they could pry it open, he could climb up to the upper floor and escape the building. But tragically, the ceiling was very high above the floor. To get up there, someone would have to hold him up from below. After some discussion, they reached a temporary agreement. Jack would crouch at the bottom to serve as a human ladder, and Jennifer would step on him to get out first and call for help. She promised that once she was out, she'd find someone to rescue Jack. Jack naively believed her words, unaware that while Jennifer agreed with her mouth, she'd already made up her mind. As soon as she climbed out, she'd call the police immediately to make Jack, that pervert, pay the price. Jack finally managed to lift Jennifer to the top, only to be greeted by a middle finger.
No, 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 no. No!
Jennifer ignored Jack and turned to climb away, but Jack wasn't about to sit idly by. He twisted his shirt into a rope, hooked it onto the edge of the elevator, and chased after her in the direction she'd gone. Before long, his physical advantage began to show. Before long, Jack caught up to her from behind, and Jennifer paid the price for her earlier actions. In the struggle, both lost their balance and fell heavily back into the elevator from a great height. The massive impact knocked them both unconscious. A long time later, Jennifer was the first to wake up. She tied Jack's hands tightly behind his back and forced him to confess his crimes on her phone. Jennifer recorded the entire incident to preserve the evidence. She was convinced that as long as she could hold out until work began, this video would send Jack to prison. Just as they were locked in a standoff, waiting for help, an unexpected turn of events occurred. Jack's coworker arrived at the building with his girlfriend. They walked into the lobby and found it completely empty. Jack's work uniform was still there, but his phone remained unreachable. At that moment, the man noticed the surveillance feed and immediately realized the elevator had malfunctioned. Jennifer, as if clutching at a lifeline, frantically pounded on the elevator door, screaming for help. The man reassured them not to be afraid. He would return to the security office immediately to fetch a spare key, but in the few minutes he was away from the monitor, Jack managed to break free from the cloth binding his hands. The moment his colleague turned away after prying open the door, Jack knocked her unconscious with a single punch. Uncertain of what had happened, the colleague was just about to climb up to investigate, but Jack suddenly activated the elevator's lifting mechanism. After cleaning up the scene, Jack shoved Jennifer into the trunk of his car, and then deleted the building's surveillance footage. He drove all the way to a dumping ground on the outskirts of town. Jack had originally planned to douse her in gasoline and burn her alive. But he didn't know that Jennifer had actually woken up long ago. She had been waiting for an opportunity to turn the tables on Jack. Jennifer immediately took the wheel to flee, but just a few dozen meters into the drive, she slammed on the brakes, her gaze turning resolute. She knew full well that even if she called the police, Jack would surely find a way to take revenge on her. With that in mind, Jennifer shifted into reverse and floored the gas pedal, plowing straight into Jack and killing him.